Number 10. Erick Silva faced Nordin Talib in a 3-round welterweight bout at UFC 196. At the start of the first round, Erick Silva put his hand out to touch gloves. When Nordin Talib went to touch gloves, Erick Silva sucker punched Nordin Talib and started taunting him. However, in the second round, Erick Silva threw a front kick where Nordin Talib caught the kick and landed a clean right hand, knocking Erick Silva face first to the canvas. Number 9. Thiago Silva faced Brandon Vera in a 3-round light heavyweight bout at UFC 125. In the fight, Thiago Silva was pushing the pace, outstriking Brandon Vera. In the third round, he took Brandon Vera's back and started to hit him with open palm strikes whilst mocking him, which resulted in Brandon Vera's nose being broken. The unanimous decision victory was given to Thiago Silva, but later was changed to a no contest due to Thiago Silva's fake urine sample. Number 8. Josh Samman faced Caio Magalhães in a 3-round middleweight bout at the Ultimate Fighter 21 finale. In the fight, Josh Samman started off throwing hard leg kicks, slowing down the movement of Caio Magalhães. He took the fight to the ground and eventually sunk in a rear naked choke, forcing Caio Magalhães to tap. After the fight, Josh Samman went to shake his hand, but Caio Magalhães spat blood in his face. He was later temporarily suspended by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Number 7. Tito Ortiz was set to face Guy Mezger for the second time at UFC 19. In their first fight, Guy Mezger defeated Tito Ortiz by a guillotine choke in the first round at UFC 13. Leading up to the event, things became very heated between both fighters. In the fight, Tito Ortiz used his superior wrestling and put a one-sided beating on Guy Mezger, finishing the fight by TKO in the first round. After the fight was stopped, Tito Ortiz started to flip him off and he next put on a t-shirt which said, "Guy Mezger is my bitch." Number 6. BJ Penn was set to defend his UFC lightweight title against the number 1 contender at that time, Sherk, at UFC 84. In the fight, both fighters kept the fight on the feet, where BJ Penn was landing the harder shots. He eventually defeated Sherk by TKO via a flying knee and punches in the third round. After the fight was stopped, BJ Penn done his signature celebration, licking his gloves. He next went to Sherk, got some blood from his forehead and started to lick it. Number 5. Jon Jones was set to defend his UFC light heavyweight title against Daniel Cormier at UFC 182. Both fighters were involved in a punch-up at the press conference and the fight quickly became personal. In the fight, Jon Jones pushed the pace and used his reach to outstrike Daniel Cormier, as well as taking him down multiple times in the fight. Near the end of the 5th round, Jon Jones put his hands up, showing that he had won the fight. Daniel Cormier let go of the clinch, thinking it was the end of the fight. Jon Jones threw some punches which missed him, and Daniel Cormier retaliated but missed the punches. Jon Jones taunted Daniel Cormier, telling him to suck it. The unanimous decision victory was given to Jon Jones. In the post-fight interview, he said that he doesn't like Daniel Cormier and he hoped that he was crying somewhere. Number 4. Michael Bisping was set to face Jorge Rivera in a 3-round middleweight bout at UFC 127. Both fighters talked a lot of trash to each other and things got very personal very quickly. In the fight, Michael Bisping landed an illegal knee and was deducted 1 point. Michael Bisping eventually finished Jorge Rivera by TKO in the third round. After the fight, Michael Bisping spat in Jorge Rivera's corner and later faced disciplinary actions and was fined. Number 3. Ronda Rousey was set to defend her UFC bantamweight title against the number 1 contender at that time, Miesha Tate, at UFC 168. Both fighters had coached on The Ultimate Fighter and developed an intense rivalry. In the fight, Ronda Rousey used a high-level judo, continuously hip-tossing Miesha Tate and eventually defeated her by submission via an armbar in the third round. After the fight, Miesha Tate put her hand out to shake Ronda Rousey's hand, but Ronda Rousey refused to shake her hand and received massive boos from the crowd. Number 2. Brock Lesnar was set to face the first man to ever defeat him in the octagon, Frank Mir, in a title unification bout at UFC 100. In their first fight, Frank Mir submitted Brock Lesnar by submission via a knee bar in the first round at UFC 81. In the fight, Brock Lesnar used his high-level wrestling and took Frank Mir down and put an absolute beating on him. He eventually finished the fight by TKO in the second round. After the fight, Brock Lesnar got in Frank Mir's face, yelling insults at him, as well as flipping off the crowd. He insulted the pay-per-view's main sponsor, Bud Light, and later apologized for his actions. Number 1. Josh Koscheck was set to face Paul Daly in a 3-round welterweight bout at UFC 113. During the build-up of the fight, both fighters talked trash to each other and it gained a lot of attention, becoming one of the most anticipated fights in the card. In the fight, Josh Koscheck controlled the fight, using his high-level wrestling, neutralizing Paul Daly's striking. He talked so much trash to him whilst holding him down during the fight that Paul Daly ended up punching him after the fight, which resulted in Paul Daly's release.